Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for being here in person. I know how excited I am and how excited everyone here is that we get to be here with you tonight. Um, I just wanted to start it off and then we'll open it up to the audience, but I would just love to hear how did this film come to be? How did this happen and you got connected?
Oh, is this thing working?
Maybe hold it a little closer.
Okay, I gotta be careful about close now. No, 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 no. I stopped talking years ago. Anyway, this began simply by having different people within a community need support as the girls are getting younger and younger. And I couldn't figure out a way to go about doing that. And in working with Annalise on a previous documentary that she did, I talked with her about trying to get something out there so the community could realize that we do have a purpose and we do deserve to be here. We're not the abominable snowman, you know. So this is not Montana and we can survive. And so that's how it got started.
And how did you meet each other? On the previous film you said?
Yes, on Annalise's diagnosing differences that she did, I got to meet her through that. And through filming that thing, the Blue Angels were flying in San Francisco at the time. So every time they flew over, I had to shut up, which is hard to do. Okay. There's no metal in my breast, so it ain't me.
Maybe it was mine.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, we can yell.
Everybody get safe for it on the way in, right?
I'm turning mine off.
Okay,
right
mine's
now.
up.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, thank you, you all, for really appreciating and liking the documentary. It's awfully important that people realize and see what goes on within our transgender community and to help the girls realize that they can do more, that you all can work toward making sure that that happens for the transgender women of color and the transgender white women that are out there and men. You know, that we're a very diverse group of people and that we have families and units within ourselves to make ourselves stronger and to form some sense of stability that you can help with. So from me personally, thank you so much for welcoming me here and having me here for this. And I appreciate each and every one of you for just being able to be here and watch this. So thank you.
Thank you. So I have a ton of questions, but it's only fair that I let the audience ask some too. Does anyone have a question? And just raise your hand, and I'll see where you are.
How can you see with no light?
I'm
Don't they have
squinting.
lights out there?
I see a hand in the back waving. Yes. The question was, what would you say is the most receptive? Say it once more. What has been the most receptive part of your challenge? Receptive part.
No, that's from Adrian. It's fine.
Yeah,
The
very cute. Um, for me personally, the fact that it's out there for younger transgender people to see and to realize that they have hope, that we can have belief, that our faith in ourselves is something that is viable, and we can use that to maintain ourselves so that we can continue to be safe and work on being strong and negotiate through this society without worrying about dying before you get to the end of your journey. And so that is really, for me, what I would say does that for us. Okay? You're welcome, darling.
Were there other questions, or should I go again?
The who?
Attorney General to speak.
The woman? Oh, okay. I didn't know who she was. I was just happy to see a black woman talking about us in a positive way. So I'm down. I think, yay, finally. The thing is, let's hope that it continues. I mean, they start off really good, and as time filters on, it gets weaker and weaker and weaker. So if it stays like it is, good. I'm definitely for that, you know, because look, none of us need this shit labeled on our goddamn bodies about where we can pee. I'm sorry, everybody drinks, everybody eats, so you gotta pee at some time. And I'm sorry, if you want me to pee in a jar in front of you, I'm cool. But I'd rather go to the bathroom. So,
Field trip to North Carolina.
there you go.
Yes, go ahead.
Uh, oh, oh, thank you. I was thinking you to encourage other black people to come up here because it's scary looking around here and all I see is me. You know, have a boating party. Let's go to the lake and swim together or something. You know, we're not going to turn the shit black, so let's get out there and get wet. Just to get some people here, you know, because it doesn't seem as if it's anti people of color. It's just not a lot of us here. And you hear so much stuff about how it is in the northern states, Oregon and Washington, you know. So if you're comfortable here and you're all right with how things are going, encourage other people to come up, visit, stay for a while. They don't need to move here right away, but they can come and visit, check it out. But thank you ever so much for that. I truly appreciate it. And hang in there, honey. Stay strong. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Love you all too. There was a Stonewall movie? I didn't know that. I've been waiting for that, girl. I heard that they were thinking about it. I didn't know they did it. They made it? Wow. No, no one talked to me about it, so I don't know. And you know, that's how history is. You can't pick up a history book and go, oh, truth, light, the American dream. No, that's that's not how it goes, you know. And so it's just a matter of getting through it and making sure that the truth is out there somewhere. Because the people that want it and need it will find it. And when you compare it to the bullshit that's floating around, you'll know it because the truth will have a glow and this other shit will be flat. Just look for the truth and you'll find it. That's all you got to do. I thank you for the question. Well, you're welcome. You know, the thing about that is that, you know, in the beginning when you're starting off and searching out who your identity is and how you're going to be with and who you're going to find to love and hopefully love you, we didn't have a lot of options, especially for me growing up. All that we ever saw on television was white people, which made me believe, well, okay, black people don't get, we don't need deodorant because we don't ever stink, we don't do anything, we don't have teeth, so we don't need to brush those. You know, so all the products that are out there are not for us. Well, now that times have changed and we are on television and we are in different spaces, there's been a way to negotiate accepting your own race or color for the things that you need for love and for association and for companionship that wasn't there before. So it's a matter of making sure that you embrace everybody. It's not a matter of making, oh, well, I don't date those people and I don't date this and oh, I'm sorry, I only like rice. Well, that's nice, but there's rice, potatoes, there's cornbread, there's stuffing. You know, Open up your existence so that in your life as you negotiate through it, you have memories that are fond and comforting and not frightening and scary so that you don't need to run and hide. You can stand there in your light, in your truth, and be the best you that you can be, and hopefully find somebody to stand there along with you. And if you don't find anybody, buy a dog. The dog is Kakuna, and she is with Melanie's very best friend, Patrice, in San Francisco, who has four other little tiny dogs, who my dog Moose happens to think are appetizers. That's so cute. Hmm. Oh, that's you.
Yeah, yeah. So the film is on the festival circuit right now, which means it's getting to be shared with audiences like this, and we love that, and it's such a wonderful way of like getting the people that are, I think, sometimes the most connected to these stories connected to them. We are looking for broadcast distribution. We've been offered broadcast distribution actually in Australia first, which is great. So Australia National Indigenous Television actually popped up, and that's really exciting. And we have some broadcast considerations in the U.S., so everyone can send positive energy in that direction. You can keep up with where the film is going and where it's going to, where it can be more publicly accessed on our website, missmajorfilm.com. You can follow us on Twitter @TheMajorDoc. You can go to Facebook, facebook.com/missmajorfilm. But there will certainly be, in probably the next year, a much broader sort of like public release of the film once we're finished up with all of our festival premieres. Because we also really want all 5 of your daughters to get to have access, and like everybody in the world, basically, to get to have as much access to this history and to Miss Major's story as possible. Thanks. Where did you develop your sense of compassion, and how did you learn how to mentor others?
Well, it's come from having parents who kept waiting for me to change back. They spent 75, almost 80 years of their life waiting for, oh, next year he's going to come back. He's always been here. And it's a matter of understanding that, there are things that we just can't change in this world. And you can't meet somebody and go, oh, I'm going to marry him because I'll make him better. What's wrong with loving him the way that he is? It comes a matter of making sure that you accept people for how they present and who they are. And once you've been able to do that, then you have to turn around and accept yourself for who you are. And once you've done that, having compassion really won't be a problem, or understanding. As an older person, I would have been nice to have had some idea growing up that I was going to get to this point, because they lie to us and tell us, oh, it's the golden years and it's going to be oh so wonderful. And once you get gray hair, you'll understand it all. I don't understand shit. And I'm sorry, the only golden year I can find is if I'm in a tub and somebody pees on me. That's it. But it works. I'm here. And who?
What are problems that you foresee in the trans activist community?
The only problems I see within the community is fighting with other people within the community. That's what I see. You know, when I grew up, it was a matter of having friends and you read each other. And you know how you talk about, oh man, I saw your mama turning a trick on the corner. Yeah, well, I sent a photo to your dad and all that shit. Well, that was really cute then. But things have gotten so PC and they've gotten so serious now, you know, that people don't even want to talk on the damn phone. Texting is really cute, but my fingernails do not understand a half an inch square that it has to narrow itself for it to hit. So if I'm gonna hit A, C is what pops up on the thing. And you can't spell like that. And so what happens is in this society and going through that, we've taken that kind of stuff on. You know, it's like I want to call and talk to my friends. I want to hear their voice. Because through that, I can see how they're doing. If they're okay. Is there something off about what's going on with them? And have that personal contact. Right now, the community doesn't have personal contact. It's very bitter, very vicious, and very angry. And my hope would be that that calms down because I don't want to see any girls thrown under the bus simply because, oh, well, this one's been on hormones, or that one has breasts, or this one's had her face done. You know, it's more than that. It's who the person is inside. It's how they negotiate through that day and into the next, who they help, how they benefit mankind, not just their little perfect square within their apartment, you know, and that they open themselves up because no, it's not easy, and yes, there's going to be hurt, and it's going to be pain, and people are going to die or live too long or whatever, but the matter is that you have to be there for them, and we have to negotiate this together. We have to all survive. One group can't make it, and the rest of us go to hell. We all go, or nobody gets to go at all.
Hello, grandmother. Thank you for coming out here. And thank you for paving the way for myself and others. One thing I really have wanted in my life recently, and I really felt is lacking, is kind of like, you know, guidance from people like yourself who are black trans women elders. Like, I'm 29. I know maybe two or three black trans women who are older than me.
Hmm.
And, like, you know, that, you know, I feel like that element is very deeply missing from my life. Like, how do I go about building that?
Well, you know, the sad thing about it being missing from your life is that they kill us before we get to 30, usually. And if they don't do that, they beat us up so bad we can't hardly talk, think, or breathe. But you can correct that with this technology crap that's going on, tweeting, the, all that shit that she just mentioned she does, you know. And through that, from what I have heard about that whole social thing, is there are ways to connect to other elder trans people that are out there in the world. Now they're not going to be in Seattle. You, if you're looking for black older queen, this ain't the place, honey. You got to go somewhere else. But online, you can get to meet them and talk with them from what I hear and share the stuff that you need from them and to benefit from that and to be receptive to the information that they are going to give you. Um, and be careful running around trying to embrace everybody that's over 50. Take your time and select people that are endearing to you, that you feel good about, that you can tell has an interest in who you are and what you're doing and not what you can provide for them. It's not a sweet world. It can be sweet within your space and you keep it like that. and be cautious so that you're safe. And as you stay safe, you'll get stronger. You're welcome, honey.
I just wanted to say that you've been so blessed by your wisdom tonight. I was just wondering if maybe you might consider doing remember back in the days with the daily affirmations? I would love to see Miss Major's daily affirmations. Write this shit every fucking
Desk calendar.
Okay, we're going to start working on a desk calendar, and it's going to be nude.
Oh, I can't quite see the back. Yes, go ahead.
Well, if you come up with something, you let me know. Because I've been trying to do this since 1962. These these queens are in a world all by themselves, child, on the planet Orc. You know, it's like Mindy and whatever have you is alive and well and living in whatever city you're in. And it's not just here in Seattle. These bitches are everywhere. You know, and they're very closed off, and they do not have the space within their brain to open it up to have the capacity to understand something other than what they see every day in the mirror as they're praising and adorning their self. You know, you have to be able to open up to realize that you're not the only person in this world, you know, and that there are other people here who deserve to be at least acknowledged and accepted for who they are. You don't have to agree with them. They don't need your permission to live or breathe. That came from somebody else. Because if they could stop us from breathing, they would, you know. And it's a matter of trying to get them to understand, and that's hard to do, that it's a larger world. That, it's amazing that Stonewall all of a sudden was white guys and lesbians. Oh, really? I, well, I was there. I didn't see you people. Oh, yeah, I did. Across the street on the other side of that park going, ooh, get 'em. You know. Once the police took all of us away, oh, then they got involved. And the most amazing thing I can remember hearing is some white guy going, ooh, don't hit me in my face. Oh, let me hit that motherfucker. Don't hit him in his face. Missing break his legs. They just don't see us, and it's a matter of getting them to like have in San Francisco and the Castro, a bunch of gay guys and having coffee. A transgender girl will walk by and every one of them will go, oh, look at that. Oh, what a shame. Oh, what a waste. It's not a waste if you want to run out there and suck that child's dick. It's not a waste, but they don't want to do that. They don't want to acknowledge that we exist. And they surely don't want to acknowledge that we ain't going no fucking where. I burnt the house down to get away from that closet that I was living in. I'm not going back.
Can I add something to that? Also, I want to say for cis folks, non-trans folks who want to help raise these stories. I mean, as a trans person, like this festival is so important for me. Trans festivals are so important to me. But also, what's important is that you all are on viewing committees for larger LGBT festivals and for larger film festivals that are more representative of a lot more people. Get on those those screening committees and find the trans movies and bring them to the larger film festivals. Bring our stories, because there are a lot of our stories out there. There's a lot of films about trans folks, by trans folks, which you will see this weekend. And there's a lot of writings, and there's just so much out there. There's a lot of art, there's a lot of stories. Get those stories, start there, into other people's hands, in front of other people's eyes who aren't trans. That's one way of doing it, and sharing our art.
What was it like making this film? Because you're sitting with an icon, a treasure of our community, you know, and like it's a lot of responsibility to get the story right because there is an angry trans mafia that would take it out.
Absolutely. That's right. You want to answer this?
I want you to answer.
Yeah, it was terrifying. Like for all those reasons, and good terrifying, not bad terrifying. But yeah, Major and I had these conversations, and it was a very collaborative process, and I feel incredibly grateful for the degree of collaboration, not just from Miss Major, who was involved from the pre-production in terms of what the structure, the narrative flow, the order, every person who appeared on camera, tirelessly reviewed paper cuts and rough cuts. Every person appearing on screen also reviewed their participation in the film. We talked to everyone for about an hour. Often folks would end up on screen for 1 to 4 minutes, so we wanted to make sure that edit felt authentic, what we took felt like what they wanted included in the project. And also because as a cisgender filmmaker and as a white lesbian cis filmmaker, right, I am in the demographic group that I think makes the most problematic trans films. I was asked, yeah, no, the Ghost of Jenny Livingston was very much hanging over this film. Ms. Major asked me to collaborate with her on this film. I would say to cis filmmakers who are really fascinated by trans projects, throw some money at them, don't make them, right? Like I would hope very much from this film that that what comes out of this film is a scholarship fund for trans women of color filmmakers. Right, we would like this film to do well financially so that other filmmakers who are from within community get to tell their own stories. But the process for me as a filmmaker was very much about bracketing my own cultural position and making sure that the folks this film was by and for were centered in that narrative. We also worked, Storm and I, Storm's a trans person of color, neither of us are black trans women. So we worked with a community advisory board as well that was an all TPOC community advisory board that looked at roughs of the film from initial concept. So you really show your panties when you show an assemblage. It's an unattractive, sprawling 2.5 hours worth of clips, basically. And so there were so many community eyes on the film, giving us such vital feedback through every single process, and that process, which is very antithetical to most mainstream documentary filmmakers, who of course feel like it's somehow not objective to involve the people the film is about. I think objectivity is a synonym for colonialism, and that it's really important that the people whose this story is about, if it feels inauthentic to them, it's inauthentic. And so that helped the terror, which needed to be there, right? Like as my own kind of compass, feel this sense of like, okay, good, we're hearing from folks. Like when we premiered in San Francisco in November, it was not like, oh, this is the first time community is seeing this. At that point, 22 people in the film, an 8-person community advisory board, and like a handful of other folks had seen many, many versions and helped shape what that film was. So like, I was tasked with not fucking this up. I hope very much that I have done that. And again, it's a testament to, to just like how fiercely amazing Miss Major is in like, you know your story, you know exactly what the narrative should be, and that guidance was invaluable.
It definitely feels different as somebody, as a trans person in the community that has been around for 20 years and like, oh my God, we just discovered you. I wanted to, I lived near a fucking film school in Boston, and so I got hammered by that all the time. And I'm wondering if you would take this into film schools to teach it, because it is like our own Stonewall Inn having this
You know, we love talking about the process of making this, and I know Storm and I have both been involved in working with cinema departments on what is essentially sort of anti-colonial social justice filmmaking practices, which I think are vitally important. Oh, that certainly in the 3 years of making this film and just being close to Miss Major, watching the number of people that try to Columbus Miss Major is really, and you know, like we're in that moment right now, is really like frustrating and god awful. Do you have any thoughts on that? Or do you have any thoughts on that?
I think you did good, Charles. Fuck that other stuff. Okay.
I have two questions. One, I'm going down to Oakland this summer, and can I stop by and say hi?
Girl, get me and get a number. Not a problem. Call. What? Duh. I'm not on that social stuff that much. I'm old. I don't have time for that. No.
Two, coming from Oakland and like moving up to Washington, I was surrounded by people of color and then none. And like coming out of transit and school and stuff, and I beat up a lot. Like how did you like deal with that coming out? Like the whole everyone kind of being against you.
Well, I looked at it like that's their problem. I don't have a problem with that. And if they're cute, what if I chase him, he'll leave me alone. And if he stops, then he'll get had. Easy solution, Carl. Nothing to trip about. It's just a matter of going through this stuff and accepting it as it is. Because things you can't change, you just have to let them go. And what you can change, do your best to. And if you can't, move on to something else. Don't give yourself drama. Enough is coming from everybody else. You just be chill. And see you when you come to Oakland. Okay.
I think we have time for about one more question, and then we should all go to the party. I see a hand in the back.
Party. Fighting that is an absolute must because for my group of people, that's all we have to do. If they're not going to hire us, and at the time I couldn't get in schools, you can't learn a trade, what else are you going to do? You have to live as whatever will bring you in the money, period. Now, if that's turning tricks, hooking, writing bad checks, boosting, you do it. You do it safely so that you don't get caught. And being in prison for the girls, it's hard enough that in going through that, we get put in there because we're not allowed to do anything else. So, yes, they need to decriminalize this shit because there's also mothers out there taking care of their children who wouldn't be doing this if they could get a damn job or afford somebody to watch their children while they did go to work. So everybody will benefit. And they want to take 20 cents off a dollar or whatever the hell it is for taxes for that, fine. I can suck enough dick to make up for that, and you can get the money that you need.
And on that note, please join me in thanking these wonderful humans. Join me in thanking them, and please join us at the after party. Thank you.